So we beat Barcelona in the Super Cup final, after winning the Europa League, Champions League winner versus each other. We won. So might be a good season for us, boys and girls. It is our 7th season in charge of the 10th oldest football club in the world, the oldest club in Scotland, Queen's Park, and for the first time, we are predicted to finish in 2nd place for the season. And of course, in this episode, as we always do, we're going to simulate all the way through the Cinch Premiership season, as well as the Champions League season, and all the cup competitions in between. We have made transfers, we have made signings, we have made sales, and we have started the season pretty well, ending up in 1st place. It would have been nicer to not have lost to Dundee away from home in a really annoying, stupid loss. But at least we are top of the table with 13 points after 6 appearances. If you are excited to find out who we signed, who we sold, please smash the like button on today's video, as well as subscribing to the Rex FM YouTube channel so you don't miss more Football Manager content with Queen's Park just like this. Can we please smash, let's say 10 likes again to celebrate an absolutely brilliant season last year with the Liverpool win in the Europa League final, and to potentially give us luck as we push for the top spot this year. And by the way, there is an update. Not handy this year, but we are now considered the 9th best reputation side in the world. And I think we've moved up in the Europa League, UEFA rankings even more. So we now have 3 Champions League spots. 1, 2, 3 there. And we didn't even have to go through qualifying this season because, of course, we won the Europa League. And the winners of our competition now don't have to go through qualifying. 2nd place only goes through a wee bit of qualifying. 3rd place obviously still goes through quite a lot. But 3rd place, and we still get Champions League football. That is huge for the future of the Scottish League. And hopefully this season we can make sure we definitely get Champions League football. But that top spot is what we're aiming for. So, since last time we saw each other, we have, of course, simulated the start of the season. 2 hiccups, one against Dundee United. That was very annoying because we didn't even really deserve to win. They actually kind of did outplay us. So that is gutting. And second of all, a draw against Hearts. That one was frustrating because I think we did deserve to win that one with a 0.7 XG. Oh man, no, we kind of just played bad in that one too. Not great performances from us so far, but we're bouncing back with decent wins. A 2-0 win against Rangers was particularly important, and 2 goals scored by new signings who I'll go over in just a second. Beating Barcelona in this game was a huge accomplishment with a Barcelona side that is still looking like a Barcelona side, like still having Victor in there, Fati, who was, I think, won the World Player of the Year, Pedri, De Jong, really good players still in their squad, and we managed to win, again, kind of comprehensively, convincingly, 13 shots to their 5. We are a good football club, boys and girls, so can we do it in the Champions League this year? Who knows? We have seen young boys in the first game this season on camera today. That is why I've simulated so much. But also, I now need to go over the transfers that we've done since last time we saw each other. So, we started it off last season by selling a couple of players at the end of the year. And by a couple of players, I really do mean a couple of players. A youngster went out on a free transfer. He didn't really have that good of a potential in the end, so happy to get rid of him. A player that we bought in on a free, Christopher, has left for £5 million. Very happy to get that kind of fee for that man. Norton Cuffy, who was a starter for a lot of seasons for us, has left for £20 million. Very happy to get that kind of money for him. Now that we have Sildilla in the right back spot, he has been a rotation option for us. So I'm very happy to sell him for that much money. That is an incredible fee, £20 million after a free transfer. So goodbye, Norton Cuffy. Lots of money there. Bill Dunn has gone out on loan again. This is probably his last chance to actually do okay before he's just not going to be a potential option for us in the future. He needs to do well this this season on loan, or I don't know what's going to happen to him in the future. But we did bring in 2 transfers at the start of, the end of last season, but the start of the season. You know what I'm talking about. First one, we actually did finalise this one during last season, and it was Peter Nedinic. Peter Nedinic. I apologise if I'm mispronouncing it, but Nedinic is what I'm going for. He comes in from AC Milan for just £8.5 million up front. Could eventually rise to 23, and that is because, we didn't actually have the money for the £15 million they were asking for at the time, so I had to kind of put it all onto future fees. But I really wanted him because a wonder kid, 5-star potential, 3-star current ability, really decent stats. As soon as he trained to be a right winger, I think he's going to be an important player for us. right now. That left wing spot is kind of locked down by the incredible man Freeman. So he's not quite getting that important player role at this point in time, but I think he's a great pickup either way. Not the only player we bought in though. We bought in the next gen. Now I found him because he won the next gen last season, as you can see here. Our man Isaac Bautista has won it. And I did think he'd be slightly better, but you know when someone wins the next gen, they're going to have 5-star potential ability. And he has got exactly that. He's got decent stats. I'm trying to train him as more of a CDM or a central midfielder. I don't think he's quite a centre-back with 5'10". You know, I do think he's got good enough stats to be able to be a CDM. I want to actually train him to be a ball-winning midfielder in the central midfield spot in the future. But for now, okay, rotation options. Star player is not correct. Sometimes you just got to lie to get them in. £7.5 million though is a bargain for him, so we will take that. More money coming in, £74 million coming in after our £14-ish million starting transfer budget. But we have sold Barisevic. Not chuffed about it. Not chuffed about it. I think I touched on it last season. He was a huge player for us, scoring goals in the Champions League, in the Europa League, in the league, and just really showing up when we needed him to. But his contract was going to expire at the end of this year, and he was refusing to re-sign, which blew my mind because I don't think he has any right to be anywhere near our starting lineup in terms of his stats. But performances were really good, so we sold him for £4 million, which is a huge cut price as to what his value was at one point. But I did make sure that 50% of his next sale is coming back to us, so that is a decent deal for us overall. Paulo Bernardo has left the club for £14 million. As great servant to the club, scored the last minute winner in our game against Real Sociedad to take us into the final against Liverpool. It wasn't really the last minute, but you know, he still did a job for us. Really good player for times, but we've got youngsters coming through. Farrell, Turnbull even is better than him, who isn't a youngster. So I think it was time to cash in on him. And I think he'll be happy to get earning some money over in the Saudi League. Mibby has left the club, and I'm gutted to see him go. But again, it was just kind of time. He was being phased out of the team last season with plenty of young centre-backs like Colwell coming in, McQueen, of course, Costa in the squad. And there's definitely more. It's bothering me. I will check it in a second. I just don't want to spoil any signs at any point in time right now. Ben Willocks, this one does hurt me a wee bit, but he's left. I remember when we got him in our youth team, I really thought he was going to be something special. Just didn't end up happening. So £1.5 million I'd take for him. Longridge, again, a youngster that looked like he might have a good potential, but was refusing to talk about signing again. So 20k for him. It's a bit sad to see him go as well. Omobamidele, that is the other centre-back I wanted to talk about. But he's left. And this one was a little bit out of my hands, but I kind of just let it happen. So sometimes you get an offer that is really good and the board accepts it for you, but you can talk them out of it. I didn't want to talk them out of this one because I kind of agree with them. £29 million is an outrageous fee for Omobamidele. He is good, but we've got Costa, we've got McQueen, we've got another young centre-back that we just signed. I just didn't feel like we needed him anymore, and there's a massive fee. It's a huge fee. He was worth about £14 million, and they offered that. And of course, he wanted to go too because he's now getting paid more money. It is what it is. Sad to see him go, but I mean, he wasn't going to get a whole lot better. Sad to see him go for sure, but Omobamidele has given us a lot of money. Next up, we loaned out our youngster, our Colombian man. He is getting some appearances down in the Skybet Championship, so very happy about that. Williamson also going out on loan, another youngster. Looks like he has good potential, but it just keeps reducing. Everyone's potential always keeps reducing. He's another one. McIntosh, again, another player that this is his last year to even become half decent on loan at Ross County. Luis Fernando, his value needs to go up. He's the youngster that I bought in for £3.6 million and wish that I didn't. So I'm just going to loan him out one more season and then sell him if he's not good. So that's the plan. Probably going to lose money on him. Pajvot, here's another youngster that I brought in. Re-signed on a contract this year. Loaning him out. Probably going to sell him next year. Hopefully don't lose too much money on him. £1 million is what we brought him in for. So, I mean, surely can't be losing too much money. Leicester, I do feel, is a weird one to be loaning out. I didn't really touch on him last year, actually. Sorry, because, you know, obviously recapping the seasons. He's actually been a decent player for us recently. 24 appearances, 32 appearances. He's been a big feature in the Europa League. In fact, last year, if we actually look at continental success, was it last year or was it the year before? Maybe it was the year before. Continental success. No, he didn't play much. It was continental. I swear he played. Yeah, 8 goals in the continental. Yeah, there we go. So he was a really big player in that season, in the Europa League run. But again, just more signings. He's just cutting down in the team. I mean, I'll definitely be able to make a profit on him for £8 million is what we brought him in for. But I feel like loaning him to try and get him more experience is the right move right now. And if he comes back and he's not any better, we'll just sell him then. So give him one chance on a loan. See how it goes, and hopefully he does improve. Next up was our goalkeeper, who we brought in for 600k, £1.3 million for him, so a bit of a profit. He was never going to turn into what we needed him to be, so happy to make some money. Soriano, £9 million. It's really low. It is really low, but again, I think his contract was expiring. He kind of twisted my arm and he kind of wanted to go, and I think that was fair. He wasn't playing quite as much as he had in the past. Last season, 33 appearances. Actually, still quite a lot. But I think he knew that he was coming down in the pecking order. So I'm happy to get some money for him. And happy that he's left the club. I mean, I love him, but it's onwards and upwards, boys and girls. Ramiro has also left the club. The left back cover that we bought in a couple of seasons ago for Bruce, and he actually played quite a bit of games. Was good cover, but we have found new cover. So £2.4 million for him. And then Eli, the youngster Brazilian that we brought in last season, has gone out on loan to Luton, and fingers crossed he actually does play some games for them. So, those are the sales, and now it's time to talk about the signings. First of all, it is a striker who comes in from Chelsea, but was in in real life actually at Tottenham, and his name's Jude Soonsip-Bell, and he looks like a good rotation option. He's not going to get a whole lot of game time. I think he probably is going to be our reserve player if someone gets injured, but I would be comfortable playing him with those stats. 15 finishing, 15 pace, 15 leadership, off the ball's okay. Bit of potential, 25, not paying him that much. Decent signing on a free signing, can't complain at all. Next up is a right back cover because we needed it because we got rid of Norton Cuffy. And this young Saudi Arabian player, 19 years of age, who's been playing at their top flights, has been doing really well for them and comes in on a free transfer. Looks decent, looks okay. I mean, I don't mind rotating the team and putting him in there. He's only going to get better too. £10 million worth of value, cannot complain for a free transfer. Renato Sanches has joined the club for £44,000 per week. 32 years of age now, but still has some really good stats. His physicals aren't going down too much at this point, and he has experience, of course, at the top level in the Serie A, in the Bundesliga, in the league. So I think a good rotation option for us too, despite the fact that he is considered an important player. It is what it is. I'm happy to rotate him. If he gets upset, he gets upset. Next up, a huge one, a £10 million bid for this man with a release clause has ended up securing us a young Brazilian wonder kid by the name of see, again, you can tell that I never read these names until I try to go for it. Giardini has come into the club for £10.25 million. Good seasons last 2 years in the first division of Brazil, and decent stats. I think he's going to be a starter for us. He's a winger on that right hand side, trying to retrain him as an inside forward on the left hand side just to give him versatility, but the physicals are where he dominates. 17 acceleration, 16 pace, 15 stamina, 16 agility. His technicals are okay, but they're just going to get better, and so far he has started off with 2 goals and 1 assist. He is not bad at all. Next up was a young left back, and I do think that he is going to take over from Bruce at some point. And that does really kill me to say, because I adore Bruce. It isn't happening just yet, but it will come. Because Bruce is not as good as him, if I'm being honest. Look at the stats. There is a difference. Technically, especially. Mentally, Bruce might have him a wee bit, but this guy's still 20 years of age. He's a wonder kid. He's a wonder kid in my eyes with 2.5-star current ability and 5-star potential. He is signed as a star player, so if he kicks up a fuss, it might be what Bruce needs to be put down to the bench. Bruce is going to be a great rotation player, still top player, right back, left back opportunities. But this man, £15 million, could eventually rise to £21 million. It's a great signing for the future. And I'm gutted to see Bruce go down to the bench, but eventually Cabrera is definitely going to be our starting left back. And another centre back has come into the club. His name is Kai I'm going to have to Google this. Hold on, give me a second. K-A-Y, Brazilian pronunciation. I can't even spell pronunciation. There's a YouTube video. Can you hear it? You might not be able to hear it. Let's see if you can hear it. Pronouncenames.com. Here we go. Kaiki joins the club. There we go. Managed to learn it. I feel proud of myself for that. And he is incredible. He comes in for £15 million, a release clause again, and his stats are ridiculous. He is already considered to be a leading Cinch Premiership player. He's got 10 heading, which needs to improve, 15 marking, 15 tackling, 17 positioning, 16 decisions. His mentals are great, his physicals are great. He's a left-footed centre-back, and he is only going to get better. The only downside is that he needed to have a release clause in there. And actually, he's the first player that I've ever negotiated a contract with in this FM. I think it has happened in previous FMs, where he made me do promises. So, like, he just said, you're going to need to give me promises. Like, it was immediately orange, and he was like, tell me what promises you want. So I had to load in promises, and I gave him a bunch of promises, and I'm hoping that he doesn't get upset about it. But just for now, at the very least, Kaiki, very, very good player, but not the biggest signing we've made so far monetary-wise. It is John Gall, and it is again a Brentford CDM signing, and you're thinking to yourself, what about Owen? Rexo, what about Owen? Owen is making me nervous, and that's why we have replaced him. His values just continue to go down, and his potential has not stayed at 5-star, and it's worrying. He's okay, but he's not. I don't feel like he's progressing. I don't feel like he's getting better. He's still considered a wonder kid. His stats aren't insane. I mean, I know that ball-winning midfielder role is a hard role to get high average ratings in. I don't know. It's just I don't know if I back him. So I've again gone to Brentford to find a ball-winning midfielder as good to start for us for a high fee. If we do actually compare him to Owen, there's not a whole lot in it. Owen is probably a more rounded player. But Goal is definitely more of the defensive player with 16 tackling to Owen's 11 and 14 marking to his 11. Mentals are better in some areas, but of course, like overall slightly better in Goal's direction. I guess they're going to rotate between the two of them, but I don't know. It's tough. £30 million he could eventually rise to. I don't know. I don't know if I've made the right call here. But I kind of just looked at the team and I was like, what's the only position that I don't feel is super strong? And it was Owen. I've got Sildilla, who's an amazing right back. McKenna, who's a locked-in starting goalkeeper. Although he might not be improving anymore, he's still a leading Cinch Premiership player. And I love him. He's a club legend. I mean, eventually Thompson, I think, will probably overtake him with his potential. But McKenna, for now, starting player. Kaiki, Colwell, locked-in centre-backs. Bruce, with the reserve of Cabrera, don't need another left-back. Turnbull and Farrell as a deep-line playmaker. It creates a great bond and a great rotation option that I don't feel like I need to improve on. Grant as the cam. Well, Grant's just the best player in the world. I forgot to tell you how well he did last season. 15 goals, 5 assists, 7.24 average rating, and he's only going to get better. Greg Grant, we love you. Giardini, who we just brought in on the right-hand side. Locked-in right-winger starter. Freeland, who is now worth £80 million and wanted by 16 clubs with that £80 million release clause, so he might be leaving soon. Locked-in left-winger. His stats are insane. Suarez, up top. Again, only going to get better, and his stats are already really decent. Got him for an £80 million release clause as well. So it was kind of only Owen. It's 3-star potential, 3-star current ability, and 4-star maybe potential that needed to be replaced. And goal comes in. I mean, I feel weird about it, but it is what it is. And I've been talking for a very long time, and we need to just jump into this game, Rex. So, okay, Queen's Park versus Young Boys. That does leave some seriously good players on the bench as well. In the reserve, sorry. Staminich, McQueen, who wants to go out on loan, by the way. Oh, Sears. I do need to tell you about this really quickly. Oh, and I need to tell you about one other thing. Sears, he said he wanted more game time. I said, why don't you leave the club? Expected him to say, don't worry about it, boss. And he said, yes, I'll leave the club. So he's now on the transfer list. I don't want him to be. I'm going to do everything in my power to get him off it. But he's on the transfer list. To be fair, he's no longer considered a model professional, though. And a model citizen, though. So that does make me kind of more okay with signing him. but I want him still. He's great. He's a right winger as well too. That is what it is. If we have to sell him, we have to sell him. But I don't want to sell him for £16 million. That's not a profit. Thank you very much. But anyway, the last thing I need to tell you is the board have just dropped needing to win the league. So just Champions League again. But yeah, that's handy. That's nice, isn't it? But anyway, this is a game in the Champions League. We need to make sure that we get the right lineup. And actually, I've just quick picked to get the team loaded in, but I haven't selected the squad. So I'm going to do that off camera because this video is long enough as it is. Here we go. Starting lineup sorted. It is rotated, but not super rotated. It's still got the boys like Suarez, Freeland, Grant starting there. Farrell, who is basically a starter for us now in there. Kaiki in there. Cabrera getting the start. Sildilla still starting. Thompson coming into the starting lineup after being unhappy, by the way, because he wanted to join Newcastle, but I don't think they were giving me enough money for him, so I said no. Owen in there. Sears starting on right wing. Have I missed anyone? Oh, the young Mexican Bautista in the centre-back spot with a stacked bench, obviously. Let's jump into it. I mean, it is against young boys, so I feel confident and comfortable with rotating it a wee bit, but not too much. It's still the Champions League, and every team in the Champions League is here for a reason. So let's make sure we are winning the game. Oh my gosh, and that is a loud Champions League theme song I have had. Okay, I'll tell you why it's so loud. Because every time I had a Champions League game, I cranked it to the fullest volume when I was away on my trip. I just played it so that everyone was aware that I was playing a Champions League game. It's stupid. It wasn't that funny. It's not that funny now even, but it's just it's a bit of a laugh for me, isn't it? It's funny for me and no one else. But anyway, this is the game. Champions League. We need to get a win against teams like Young Boys. I didn't actually go over who we're versing, so I will go over that afterwards. But trust me, this is one of the easier wins, so we need to make sure that this one is a win. As Thompson swats it away, comes out to Sal, and actually we've conceded. I don't think he's offside. I don't know why I thought it was even going to go to offside, because it was clearly not offside, right? So we've conceded. It's not a good start at all, is it? Well, Thompson could have done a wee bit better. Maybe if you weren't so unhappy about Newcastle, you would have focused more on the game. But hey, it is what it is. So Dia putting in a throw in. It's only the first shot of the game, so there's plenty more football to be played. And there is Suarez. I thought he put it in. You would really think he'd put that one in. That's right in front of the goal, mate. And he's put it the other way. I don't know how you've gotten it that far to the side, but he has. And it's 1-0 to Young Boys still. Not a good start for us, but we are doing better in possession. We are doing better in terms of XG and shots. So if we continue that momentum, we should get some opportunities to score an equaliser very soon. But they would, you imagine, would be going to a defensive mentality now, as I imagine they know that they're probably not as good of a team as us on paper at the very least. Here we go, 7 shots. Surely highlights coming soon. 74% possession, 11 shots now. It's going to be a goal at some point soon. Let's just see a highlight. Thank you very much. Greg Grant with the free kick from this far away. I'm not saying it's a goal unless he plays it to someone, but I think he's going to be selfish and shoot it. Greg Grant stands over it. He's standing over it for a long time. He does pass, actually, and it has ended up being a goal, and that's what I said. It's not going to be a goal unless he passes it, and he's unselfish, and he passes it into Farrell, through to Freeland, and we go 1-0 on the night. Beautiful. That's well worked. I love that. I mean, we can't see the goal go into the back of the net in the end there with the angle of that free kick replay, but, I mean, I don't care. It's a goal. Farrell with the assist and Freeland with the goal. Grant being unselfish and setting the whole thing up. Here is Grant on the ball right now into Bautista. Bautista moves it into Sildilla, sorry. I'm sorry if I am mispronouncing that. I am phonetically sounding it out with S-I-L Dilla. Dilia. Oh, Dilia. Oh, Sildilla. I think it still could be Sildilla and just have a silent L. I don't know, but I'm going Sildilla for now. Suarez on the ball. It is into Sears. Sears, can you score? Oh, he puts it wide of the target. Or maybe it is a good save by the goalkeeper, to be fair. Sears, good stats, man. He could be... Because when Grant came in, he was 2.5-star current ability. But you can see in his stats, he's obviously not 2.5-star current ability, and he's gone straight up to 4 very quickly. But Sears, I feel like, could be in the same ballpark. Like, he's 2.5-star current ability now. But I don't know. Maybe his stats are suggesting that he should be like 3.5-star. I don't know. So give him game time and hope that he asked to get taken off the transfer list, and maybe, just maybe, he'll turn into a star player for us. Kaiki on the ball. Forgot I pronounced his name for a second and now I remembered. Puts it into Freeland. Freeland trying to find players. Does find Kabia. How do I say that? Kabia. Well, I was saying it better before, I swear. It Sears on the ball. And Freeland. I've recorded like 3 episodes back to back, boys and girls. Clearly, I'm not on form at this current moment in time. I hope you forgive me. And like in the middle of this recording, it will be like 3 days in the future, so you'll get a completely different rack. So don't you worry about it. Don't leave just yet. 60 minutes gone. Not quite, but it's Grant on the ball, and this time I would actually like him to shoot it. Is he going to shoot it? He does shoot it. He puts it off the woodwork. I feel like those free kicks are so hard to score. They hit the woodwork all the time. They never put them in the back of the net, especially when it's a decent goalkeeper in between the sticks. I feel like in the lower leagues, you see them scoring reasonably often. But yeah, I guess at this level, not so much. Switching up the centre backs just because they're tired. Of course, Kaiki playing in the first team and same with Sildilia, sorry. So you can understand why they're getting knackered. Cabrera is, that's how I said it before, Cabrera is 6.5, but I'm going to keep him on. Don't really have another striker of just... I mean, I guess I could bring Freeland on up front and bring Nadinic onto the left-hand side, but he's a winger. I can play him on wing support and then Sears, and yeah, that's a good plan. Sears is inside forward because he is, of course, a striker at heart. Well, natural at striker and cam, so I guess he could be considered either one of them, and that was frightening. Thompson makes a save, but we do make the substitutes and hopefully don't have to see the highlight. No, it's not a highlight. There we go. 2 XG for us, 19 shots. You'd expect us to be putting one in the back of the net. We are going to go attacking and berate the boys to motivate them. Look at them. All not going to get happier from that. Owen is definitely not going to be a starting player for us anymore because goals coming on. Because no, actually Stamenic, because Stamenic doesn't get a lot of game time now being on the bench, and he has scored some good goals for us in important times. Owen, but with an injury now, he's going to be seriously out of the squad for some time. Who else can we bring on to make a difference? Turnbull. Turnbull does have that experience, does have that ability, and that's our final substitute. It is Grant coming off. It is Stamenic coming on, it is Turnbull coming on, and it is hopefully a goal to Queen's Park to get us 3 points, because these are the games, as I said, that we need to get 3 points. If we're going to go through to the next round, especially in those top qualifying spots, which I think is asking a lot, despite the fact that we have beaten Manchester City, Lazio, and more recently Barcelona in the Super Cup final. I don't think we're quite at that level yet, but even those bottom spots, you need to win games like this if you want to get that. I really do expect us to win it in these last 15 minutes. It's them on the ball though, smashing it long. It's Bautista winning the header. Turnbull, Freeland in the striker position and puts it into the back of the net. And now I feel comfortable. I feel confident. I even think we could score another goal. I do think we're going to win this game now. Thank goodness. Turnbull coming on, getting the assist, calming it down, just showing his experience, his ability, even at his age of 30, and even though he's considered apparently just a 3-star current ability. But 3-star current ability, I talk so much about stars, by the way. I don't know why I do, because I think they're all, well, sometimes I think they're good, but sometimes I think they're terrible. He's a 3-star current ability for us. I think is still a good Cinch Premiership player. So like our level is insane at the moment. We are very good for the league that we're in. It's just whether or not we can actually win a league for once in our lives. But anyway, here's another highlight. Continues to be coming. Is this key highlights? Because we're seeing some seriously insane highlights here. There's key highlight. Okay. Sears is on the ball. Better be a goal this time, footy manager. Freeland, it is a goal. And has Farrell just got another assist? I think he's onside. I think he is onside. I think we're okay. 3-1 win is a much more convincing win than a 2-1 win. And it is a goal. It is an assist for Farrell. And it's another goal for Freeland. Not exactly what we need in terms of his eyes being on him, because we love him and he's insanely good and he is wanted by 16 different clubs for £80 million. But I mean, £80 million is £80 million. You'd think the board wouldn't want to say no to that, but I mean, we are paying £71 million for Grant, so it's not completely out of our realm of possibility to buy players for £80 million. I mean, I would like to keep him if I can. And here is Sears. There we go. Just putting the cherry on top of the cake. And actually could potentially turn into a great player for us if he continues scoring like this. Scoring a goal to make it 4-1. Putting it into the bottom corner. please, please, please just cancel your transfer request. I did not mean it. If I realised, I would have just given you more game time. I regret it completely. But we got the win, and that's the important thing. First game in the Champions League, 4-1 win, and we are up in 5th place. And we are going to be versing some much more difficult teams than Young Boys as we go through the Champions League this season. Our fixtures are up against RB Leipzig. Then we're versing Barcelona, who we know we can beat. AC Milan, who we know we can't beat. Atletico Madrid. This team, who I believe are was wanting to say Portuguese, but Brazilian came out, but Hungarian is them, and we'll definitely take that. And then Lens, who were in the Europa League with us, and Galatasaray. I feel like that's a win. That's a win. Let's say loss, just to be nice to us. There's still 4 wins in there. That's 12 points. The season that we beat Manchester City, by the way, if I mentioned that, we beat Manchester City once in the Champions League. I think we only needed like 9 points to go through. Yeah, 9 points last season and 9 points for us the season before. So 12 points. They get us mid-table. We'll take that. Hopefully we can get exactly that. And hopefully the league campaign continues to go incredibly well. And this is why you get money for the Champions League. £2 million every time you win. It's just as good, isn't it? And Freeland got a hat-trick. Didn't even notice that. Let's focus on the league. Let's focus on the Champions League. On the 2nd of February, obviously halfway through the season, or a little bit further in our case, we are 2nd place. We do have Rangers right on our tail with 2 games in hand on us though, and we are 4 points away from Celtic, who also have a game in hand on us. So it's not quite the title challenge that we thought, but we're still certainly within the conversation. You can see Greg Grant up there for the top goal scorer, Freeland up there for the average rating player, and assister as well. So we've had some good performances, decent stuff this season. But again, it's just trying to beat Celtic and Rangers that is incredibly challenging for us every single season. We picked up some draws to Rangers, Kilmarnock, St Johnstone, and Hearts. So a couple of them probably should have been wins, if I'm being honest. And we picked up a couple of losses. Celtic, Rangers, Celtic, and Dundee. So the Dundee one was potentially avoidable. So this is what our results looking like. Yeah, I mean, couple hiccups, but no huge spells of bad form. Just, yeah, not consistently winning enough, I guess you could say. But in the Champions League, we are through to the next stage. We managed to come away with, well, I can actually just look here, 4 wins. Galatasaray, Lens, the Hungarian side, and Young Boys, a draw to Atletico Madrid, and a loss to AC Milan, Barcelona, and RB Leipzig. I feel like that's what you'd expect from the games that we had. So we'll take that. I mean, even the draw, I feel like quite surprising. So you take that, and you run with it, and you go into the next round, and you hope that you draw one of the easier of these teams. So like maybe an Ajax, and maybe a Lyon, maybe a Napoli if you have to, but there's not many easy teams in that wee bracket there. But anyway, transfers is what you want to know about. And first of all, we have kind of put the club into financial turmoil with transfers I've done in the past. Now we all know that I love Greg Grant, and I'm going to quickly click this so that you don't have time to see players that were signed. Greg Grant, I love him, but we paid £71 million for him. And I do think that's worth it, but it was initially 45. The 71 has just come out of the 26 to make it 71 has just come out of our budget, as well as the fact that, I could just search his name to not give away any spoilers. You didn't see anything. I hope you didn't see anything. As well as the fact that Freeland, again, one of our favourite players, has also just reached 50 appearances to take his from 7.5 to 14.5. So that's a total of £28 million that, was just chilling out there. I think we were already going down in the financial spectrum, but we ended up being in a pit of £45 million. I do hold my hands up and say that was mostly me and transfers that had, eventual fees that just, didn't end up working out very well for us. So that has meant that we have now taken out a loan of £46 million to get us back to even playing field. We now have profit again, which is nice to see. But it is, it's all in the transfer budget, isn't it? So it is really, we need to get some good results in the Champions League. We need to be winning the league. We need to be getting good results across the board to make sure we go back up. But it's a new feeling for us because we've always just been like racking it in for this team, and now to go down, it is annoying. But I know what it's from. It's from transfers. It's from deals where the costs come at a later date. But anyway, that's not important right now. We've got a loan and we should be okay. The important thing is transfers coming in and leaving this season. So it is a bit of a busy January transfer window, I believe. Stamenic was the first player to leave the club for £12 million. He wasn't getting much game time this season with Owen and, of course, the new man Gyle in there. I can't actually remember how you say it, but I'm going to go with Gyle. So he's left the club for £12 million. He has risen in value. We kind of knew he would. Decent player, but yeah, I don't think he was anything special, so happy to sell him. Jude Sonsup Bell, the striker that we bought in on a free transfer at the start of the season. He actually did come on and score 2 goals in one game. I cannot remember for the life of me what game that was. But we won the game as a result. He got subbed on and he scored 2 to make it a draw and then a win, which was awesome. But yeah, we didn't need him. And he wanted to leave £8 million. It's always what I do. You sign a free transfer, you play them a couple of games, you make them upset, and then you sell them for a huge amount of money in the January transfer window. It works well. McQueen has gone out on loan to Middlesbrough. We were trying to loan him out at the start of the season. Didn't get anyone inviting. Finally loaned him out to Middlesbrough. Hasn't made any appearances so far because he got a bit of an injury, but I'm hoping when he comes back from injury, he's going to be a regular starter for them. Isaac Bautista, who was our centre-back, next-gen winner, who looks very good, but is currentse upset at the club because he wants more game time. So he's gone on loan to the Ligue 1, where he is starting for ASSE, and we all know that to be Saint Etienne, and he's getting paid all of his wages and we're getting a bit of money for it too, so I can't complain about that, and I want to loan him out, so it's a win-win for everyone involved. Next up, we did sell Owen. I know, I kind of regret selling Stamenic now, but Owen has left the club, and that is because his £20 million was about to rise to £27 million. In fact, we were 3 games away from doing that. I was just kind of like, I don't love him. He's not starting. I mean, he was a good signing at the time. I was just like, if we pay this £27 million and his value reduces, which I kind of could see it doing, we're not going to ever make money on him or even break even. So I kind of felt like this was the only opportunity to guarantee that we would break even on him or make money. So we have made £8 million profit on him over a couple of seasons. And it is, of course, his value has risen now, but I don't know. There's nothing in his stats that make me think he's a world-class player. Like, especially in those technicals, he's got 16 technique and that's it. If you compare him with our actual starting CDM at the moment, Gould, again, don't look at names just to not spoil it. Gould is so much better. You know, like, he's got all of these defensive stats. Well, you look at the ones down at the bottom, you consider them defensive stats. Mentals are better, like, just generally. Yes, he's got more aggression. Yes, he's got more flair off the ball and teamwork. But just, like, in general terms, you know, you can see an improvement for Gould. And more physicals. I just think he's a much better player by a country mile. So Owen, he's left the club. Sorry to say it. He's left the club. And Nadinic has also left the club on a loan. I did want to loan out a Brazilian man, the right winger, but he didn't get any offers. So instead I loaned out Nadinic, who can now play on the right wing, by the way, and is actually doing okay. He's a decent player. He's still a wonder kid. He's not starting, even though we promised him he would start. Yeah, we had a huge fuss. Like, a lot of players were not happy. And we made a lot of promises, as you can see here, increasing playing time for Cabrera, for Costa, for Sears, for Colwell. The right back, the Saudi Arabian right back, was not happy with his game time. People want to be sold for certain amounts of money. I just make the promises for a really huge amount of money. As you can see here, Giardini, the Brazilian man, he wanted to go out on loan. I didn't end up finding anyone to loan him out to. Nadinic wanted more game time. Like, there was a lot of people getting upset, and that is because I promised everyone first team football, and I couldn't do it. So yeah, my bad. But Cabrera is actually now starting in the left back position because he kicked up a fuss, and he just is better than Bruce. I love Bruce, but he just is better. You know, like, if we actually compare the two of them, Bruce, he's just nowhere near. He's got mentals. He does have his mentals on him, but I think Cabrera is just so much better across the board. And he's got the potential. Bruce is kind of stagnated. He's not really got the potential anymore. He's considered a leading Cinch Premiership player. close to his potential. I love him. He's going to stay around the club forever. I don't plan on selling him at all. But yeah, I think Cabrera is definitely the way forward. But anyway, the signings that we made this season, Joseph Moukoko is the first one to come in. And you can see he has started absolutely flying. Scored a goal on his debut in the UEFA Champions League, won the Player of the Match award. Then, in the Cinch Premiership, scored 2 goals and got the Player of the Match award. And then he did kind of decline in his next game, didn't play so well. But I'm playing him on the right wing as an inside forward. And it's kind of working out really well for us at this moment in time. Having Freeman on the left, Moukoko on the right, and Suarez up top. But Suarez has been, as you can see here, that's what we've been doing. Suarez has been so average this season, and I've only just really realised it. 8 goals, 3 assists, 20 appearances. It's just not good enough. So we're trying him out as a complete forward. I'll give him maybe like 5 games on that role to see how it does. And I also think that will kind of balance out the fact that we have really attacking wingers as well. I don't know. We'll give it a try. But, I mean, Suarez at this current moment in time is not the most incredible player in the team. But not the only signings that we made. These two being, they're good signings. Carvajal comes into the club. He's a Chilean centre-back, right winger, and left-back. But if you actually look at his stats, you can tell he's a left-back written all over him. He needs to improve his passing. But I did kind of, it was a deadline day signing. I didn't have time to quite scout him completely. I think he was considered a wonder kid when we signed him too, and he's not anymore actually, which is annoying. But we didn't have the full scout report, and we just saw lots of good stats. So I was just like, I'll take a punt, pay £4 million, could eventually rise to 5.5. I don't think it's a horrific deal, but it's not the best deal I've ever made either. If I knew he was a left back as well, because he was, as I said, I wasn't really seeing his stats, and I could see he could play all these positions. I was like, if I knew he was a left back, I maybe wouldn't have bought him, because we don't need a left backs, because we've got Bruce as our backup and Cabrera, who's obviously turned into a great one. But I don't know, he's an okay signing. He's just not incredible. You take it, but you're not that insanely chuffed. He's okay. But this next one, I feel like is a more solid one. It's Tyler Bindon, who is a New Zealander that I have never heard of, which is really saying something, because I know New Zealand football like the back of my hand. And he is actually an American who must have changed his nationality in this game to be New Zealand. It must have been that situation, because I've never seen him come down as a New Zealander on anything else. So I think this is just lucky that for New Zealand in this save that he is a New Zealander in this save. But anyway, he has played for Brighton, LA, sorry, being from the US, then went to Reading, then to Brighton, then he's gone and started in the Serie A for 3 seasons in a row. He's actually done really well there, and he had a release clause of £10.5 million, and I just activated it. And I will admit, I kind of activated it because we've loaned out so many centre-backs, Bautista and McQueen. So now we kind of needed another centre-back, and he comes in. But now that once all these players, Bautista and McQueen, come back from loan, it's going to be a bit more of an issue. But I don't know. He's a good player. He's gone up in value. I can't complain too much about it. So that is everything that has happened since the last time we saw each other. Oh, we are actually into the Scottish Cup next round, and we got knocked out in the semi-final of the Viaplay Cup. Forget about cups. Always forget about cups. And there's one more thing I want to go over before we play the game that I just feel like we should play. Let's play a game together against Dundee, which, by the way, we lost to last time away from home. So it's a good one to play against. But I did want to show you this. Club Vision. I do want to show you this too, actually. Sorry. Club Vision says, qualify for the Champions League. Go here, win the Premiership. Like, what option is it? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, the one that I actually want to show you is that we are, for the first time, I think, in my Football Manager history, we are considered a legend. And I haven't checked this since the end of last season, but we are considered a legend of this football club. I think some of our players are being really, really harshly underrated here. Like, we've got McKinstry and Bruce on the icons list. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I would kind of argue maybe McKinstry deserves to be a legend, but okay. Dom Thomas, who of course we sold to the Denmark side years ago, considered favoured personnel, and Jordan Freeman, of course, also looking like one of the best players on our team, is considered favoured personnel. But mate, McKenna is just sitting here like, oh, what did I do wrong? Like, he was incredible in the UEFA Europa League final. He got man of the match with his performance of an 8.0 rating. And then I'm pretty sure in the Super Cup against Barcelona, he was also man of the match with a 7.8 rating. Maybe Grant got it from him. But still, like, why is he not? I think there's some bias against goalkeepers, but anyway, McKenna, not on the favoured personnel list even. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I will admit, McKenna is potentially going to have to be replaced at some point, just like Bruce. It's not that I don't love them, it's just that it's progress, isn't it? It is progress. But never selling him. Never selling him. I love him, just like I'm never selling Bruce. And just like I'm probably never going to sell Bannon. Even though he comes up to me probably once a month saying, I want more game time. And I always say, well, you can leave then. And he goes, no, don't worry. So, Bannon staying around forever. But this is the team that going with for this game. I clearly haven't actually set it up completely. Let's get it set up completely. Do I want... Let's get him in there. Actually, let's get rid of him. And bring... Oh, who should we bring on? Oh, do we need... Yeah, that'll be fine. Move them all down there because I like to have them in order. Sears also wants more game time at the moment. But with Mokoku playing well, it's hard. I'm going to just leave it how it is. And we're still going to go positive despite the fact we're away from home against a side that have beaten us before. But it is Suarez, it's Freeland, it's Grant, it's Mokoku, it's Farrell, who has been incredible this season, turning into the player that we really thought he could be. He has scored 5 goals, gotten 2 assists, and an average rating of 7.13 from that deep line playmaker spot. He is an incredible player. He's just going to keep getting better. Goal, again, sorry, I just highlighting it. How good has he been? 5 assists, 7.03 average rating. We never got that from Owen. Can't complain about that. So Delia, Costa, Colwell, Cabrera, and McKenna. We actually should be playing Kaiki, but Costa kicked up a fuss. So Costa's playing for that and that reason only. But let's jump into it. Let's hope that we can come away with another win. And let's give a number to Bindon. 18. 18 works. So it's a historic New Zealand centre-back. Wellington Phoenix as well. So Wellington Phoenix is the only professional football club in, full professional football club in New Zealand. And our centre-back who was there for years was named Ben Sigmund, and he wore the number 18 shirt. So for me, number 18 is very much a centre-back shirt number. So I'm happy that a New Zealander has able to got Ben Sigmund's number 18 number for our club, even though it's not quite, the same thing. But you know what I mean. It's a nice sentiment for sure. But 16 minutes gone, and it is Rangers going above us because they are winning away from at home actually, but away from our ground, of course, where we're playing. It's not ideal because they are 2 games in hand on us, and we're not winning this game. But we have more shots than this team. In fact, I think they had 0 shots. And we have 4, so fingers crossed this highlight is going our way based upon those stats. But it is them on the ball. But it is Costa winning it. It's Costa giving it away pretty quickly though. Devine plays it back into the centre-back. And they're trying to find some space to work around us. And they're still hanging on to the ball. It would be disappointing to see their first shot be a highlight. But you see it happen quite often in Footy Manager. It is them on the ball. But Freeland takes it off them. And surely this is our chance now. It's not the best shot though. Not really the best highlight in general, if I'm being honest. It was kind of them just moving the ball around, chilling with it, and then we eventually get a shot away. But it's a tame effort from outside the box. You need to do a lot more to beat the goalkeeper from there, Freeland. But at least with the dominant side so far, 7 shots, 47% of possession, and we're on the ball once again. Greg Grant coming very deep for this one, hoping that he's going to move. There he is, going back into his central attacking midfielder position. So Delia, it's not quite the pass I want you to be making, mate. He is apparently not quite as good as he used to be, according to star rating, but he is still playing really well, and his stats are still very good, so I'm not planning on removing Sildilia at any point in time at this moment in time, because, I think he was, one of the first really incredible signings I think we made, and, I don't want to get rid of him. But it is looking like it is a Dundee chance here. Farrell tries to intercept, but it's come through to Shankland, and he does not shank that. He puts it in the back of the net, and it's 1-0, and there's not even a chance for an offside decision. Against the run of play, with their first shot, it's 1-0. And I was talking about that with the last highlight. You knew that it can happen in Football Manager. It's happened against us now. And our XG continues to rise. We don't quite have the possession, But surely we're seeing highlights coming our way soon. Greg Grant, mates, pop up, score a goal. Suarez, pop up, score a goal. That's the issue, man. He just doesn't. He scored 8 and 20. And respectfully, Shanklin scored again. We're going to have to go attacking. Respectfully, in the Scottish Premiership, like, we are up there with Rangers and Celtic, absolutely, in terms of ability. So why are we not dominating against these lower teams? I know Dundee are coming fourth this season, so they're not quite on the same level as like, you know, a St Mirren or your Aberdeen sides, but still, like, I don't know. I want to see us getting goals, and I feel like the striker situation, Suarez isn't even bad on paper, you know what I mean? Like, he should be scoring goals. It's just not happening for us at the moment. You saw there, moved to an advanced playmaker for him and moved a tactic onto an attacking mentality to try and get us more opportunities in the second half. Because right now, a 2-0 loss away from home against any side that isn't Celtic and Rangers is a catastrophically terrible result. Away from home, at home, I don't care. We need to be winning these games. And here is Cabrera intercepting. Can he find a ball through? No, he goes for the shot himself. And it just... I feel like our XG is like Arsenal in real life right now. Like, it's not actually... It's a lot of small XGs adding up to make like a 2xG. You know what I mean? Like, none of them are actually high probability chances. They're just lots of shots with low XGs. And it adds up to make it look like you should have scored, but in reality, maybe you shouldn't have because, you know, each individual XG was terrible. But hopefully that changes here as Moukoko has the ball. Puts it in. Suarez. But Freeland gets it. Grant gets it. And that would have been a higher XG, Grant. Expect you to score those, mate. He's better than that. 65 minutes gone. We're not really seeing a whole lot from attacking third. And who are we going to be bringing off? It is going to be Grant to come off first because I know he is very tired. So Turnbull's going to come on, who hasn't quite been starting the same amount of games. But when he's coming on, he's doing okay. I like using him as a super sub at the moment. But I feel like he could probably still feel a bit hard done by not being a proper out-and-out starter. I'm going to move Moukoko up top. Bring Suarez off because he's just been terrible recently, as I've just been saying. Sears is an inverted winger, maybe having that attacking mentality a bit much on the front players is creating a bit of an issue up top. Let's try and get a bit more support to create some opportunities for Moukoko and Freeland. It's not seeming to happen straight away. There's not a lot of possession going on either. 44% is not quite what we want. And no highlights either. It's not a good game, boys and girls. I'm regretting showing you this one, but I guess it's good to show you ones that are at least impactful in our season. And trust me, a loss is very impactful in our season when we're chasing Celtic and Rangers. But at least the top 3 spots are now considered Champions League, so actually should be okay regardless in terms of, you know, not getting sacked. And I'm a legend of the club, so they can't sack me. They definitely can. Bautista, I think they have a centre-back called Bautista too, sends it out, and now they've got a red card. Wow, okay. We're just going to have to pile on pressure. I'm not going to go more direct, actually. Let's just go really fast and not worry about playing out from the back and go very attacking. I'm going to move Sears onto the inside forward on attack, just like Moukoko was. Now that we've got more players, we want to overload them. McKinstry can come on. Freeland clearly not playing great. And Farrell's looking tired, so Renato Sanches, who has been very much a bit of a forgotten player this season, is coming on to get a couple of appearances. And he's got the stats. It's just, I prefer using younger players if I can. But no highlights coming from this immediately. 87 minutes played. This is just a horrific performance from us. Not even a goal. Not even a highlight after the red card. Well, we're getting one right now, but oh gosh, it's going to do nothing for the game, even if we score now. Sears, let's get a consolation goal. Let's get rid of their clean sheet for me. Come on. Sears running down the wing, trying to find a ball into the mix. He does find Moukoko, who can't even finish it from point-blank range. We are terrible at football, boys and girls, and I think we're just going to be seeing the final whistle. And I love the way I've pronounced whistle there. To rub salt into the wounds, and it definitely is not a day to remember for Queen's Park. Oh, okay. Well, we go again, and we hope that I don't know. We have to hope that teams slip up that aren't us. Because as I said before, Celtic and Rangers both have games in hand on us. So if they win both of their games, they're going to be on 59 points. So 7 points clear of us. if they win both of their games, they're going to be on 62 points and 10 points clear of us. So it's basically can't afford to lose from here on out. Good to know. Okay, boys and girls, look, it's the end of the 7th season and we haven't won the league again. In fact, we're probably not even going to get second. We're lucky that the Champions League places are given to third place now. We'd love to obviously jump ahead of Rangers and get that second place spot for, I think, automatic. No, at the very least, it makes it easier to qualify for the league phase. I mean, we've never failed to qualify before, but oh my gosh, there's a first time for everything. Yeah, the league phase straight away, so that would be quite nice, but don't think we're going to get that because we've slipped up in recent games. Well, I'll go over what's happened since last time we saw each other, I guess. We got knocked out of the Champions League to Juventus after winning 1-0 at home. We lost 4-1 away from home, where we kind of just did get slapped. It was 1-0 at one point, 2-1 at one point, and I got excited. But it didn't go our way. It wasn't our day for sure. And then throughout the league campaign, we lost to Dundee, we lost to Rangers, we got knocked down in the semi-final, Celtic, oh my goodness, I'm going to get in trouble for that. Rangers beat us in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. Dundee just beat us in the league after we beat Rangers in the league. And I'm starting to evaluate 91st minute and 93rd minute winners there. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I'm starting to evaluate what has happened in this series. I mean, I know that our season previews don't predict us to finish first. I'm not actually saying that we're better than Celtic just yet. I think we're very close, but I'm not quite saying we're there just yet. Very, very close though. But I've been running the same tactic the entire time. This one that we used against Kilmarnock. You know, it's the 4-3-3 with the cam or the CDM or the central midfielder with a short passing, with work the ball from the defence, gegenpress style play. And I mean, it's not getting us the wins, is it? Like, it's just not. We're slipping up all the time. And I'm reflecting on it. And I'm trying something different. So I think next season, we're giving this a crack. This is what we played against Celtic, and it ended up coming away. Sorry, Rangers. Oh my goodness, I'm getting in so much trouble in the comment section. This is what we played against Rangers, and we ended up playing better than them on XG. To be fair, we did get 2 penalties, so that is kind of generous. But still, we'd normally lose to Rangers anyway in this game. So like, just to be competing is a really good switch in the tactic. This 3-2 loss, against Dundee, we did use the tactic and we outplayed them massively. I think it might just be a familiarity thing. I don't know. I'm thinking about it, and I think it is a good play. Like, our issue is scoring goals, so 2 strikers are going to help us out. We'll also keep slipping up against good teams, so 5 at the back is going to help us out there. I don't see a downside. Like, we don't have insanely good wingers anymore. We've got Giardini, who is progressing and looking good, but he's not world-class right this second. He can play striker if we need him to, and we could always retrain him as a cam as well. McKinstry's coming to the end of his effectiveness, and if he wants to leave, I will definitely sell him at the start of next season. Sears as a cam and striker. There's no one here that is really an out-and-out needs to be a winger. Even Freeland, who we've always played at left wing, is arguably more suited to being a striker. It's all signs pointing to this tactic being a really good equation for our team. And it's what I'm going to give a crack. I'm going to give it a crack. We'll see what happens. 5 at the back as well, because we have so many centre-backs, remember I was telling you. We've got Costa, who really should be starting with his ability. His stats are great. 16 marking, 15 tackling, 15 positioning. Great stats there. Kaiki cannot not start. He just got a cap for Brazil. Look at him. He's an amazing player, and he's now wanted by PSG. He is incredible. And Colwell as well, obviously, like the bargain of the century, bringing him in for £28 million. We've been getting bids left, right and centre from him, from Newcastle, PSG, Atletico Madrid. Like, we've got good players here. We are better than Celtic, actually. We should be outperforming them. And then out on loan, we've got McQueen, who still has a high potential, going down slightly, which is disappointing, but still a decent potential. Bautista, who, can I mention, is the next gen and is getting a huge average rating over the Ligue 1 side, Saint Etienne. Yes, I am right there, Saint Etienne. And then also not forgetting. No, that's all. Oh, no, Carvajal. Oh, but he's not that insane, but no. I knew there was one more in Bindon, but No, he's a centre-back. He's a centre-back. But that's probably the one I should have gone with instead of Carvalho, to be fair. But still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have serious options. I feel like this makes more sense. And next season, this is what we're going to be trying. So you best believe next episode is going to have some sort of tagline about the most amazing new tactic I've ever found in my entire life that has changed our team and won us the league, because I'm going to clickbait it. I mean, you're going to clickbait 5 at the back. I feel like 5 at the back tactics do well in videos as well. So this game, admittedly, does not mean a lot. Well, no, it does. It does, actually. Let's not downplay it. It means something, because if Rangers mess up and drop points and we manage to win at home against Celtic, who, by the way, have already won the league. So, that would be nice for our Glasgow rivals to give us a wee win there. And Hearts is actually leading in their game, but we're not exactly dominating in our game. I have been mixing it up with the mentality, though. When we play positive, we don't do that well. But when I go balanced, we don't play that well. But when we go attacking, it seems to go okay. But then I just feel weird about going attacking on a 5-back formation. So balance clearly isn't working for the first 20 minutes. So change it and try positive, and then we'll probably try attacking in a couple minutes if it's not working. I definitely, there'll be some fine tuning in the old instructions going on. I've moved the tempo down slightly, and I've moved to fairly wide. Maybe that shouldn't be fairly wide. Maybe that should just be fairly wide. I've changed fairly wide to fairly wide, haven't I? But I feel like that's a less fairly wide based upon the bracket situation. I don't even know what the highlight was there, if I'm being honest with you. But 26 minutes gone. We're getting back into the game now with a positive mentality. 56% possession. It's going up. And we see our first highlight of the game. It's coming in. We've got lots of centre-backs in there with big headers and not quite finding the back of the net there. But we're level on XG and shots now. And now we're overtaking them. Boys and girls, this could be the move. This could be the tactic. Could we be beating Celtic on the last day of the season? Hearts are still doing us a huge favour. This would be a great way to go into the Champions League next season. Can't tell I'm not happy with the performance out there. They know that I'm going to say that every time we're versing Rangers and Celtic and not winning. So let's hope that it fires them up and gives us some momentum to score in the second half. I'm seeing a tired Grant in that central attacking midfielder position. And I'm taking him off. I love Grant, but it's got to be done. I'm also seeing an underperforming Suarez and Freeland, but Freeland has got a lower rating, so Makoku's coming on for the last 30 minutes of this game. Can we score a goal? Because right now, it would put us into the Champions League automatic spot in second place. Suarez, very, very low there, taking that free kick. I wouldn't pick you. You're 6'5". Alright, but we still have the highlight. It's Farrell playing it back into goal, putting it in, and Suarez is there with his big head, heading the ball into the back of the net, and as things stand, I believe we are in second place. And I was saying at the start of this episode, this game, the video was about 40 minutes long, Raxo, so you can't have said it when you didn't know what was going to happen. But I was saying at the start of this game, didn't mean anything, and now I'm very interested in it, because it means a lot. This is now second place for us, and that means automatic Champions League football, league stage. We don't have to go through all the... Which the qualification does get us money. Ooh. Oh, maybe you get money either way. You might get money either way. You might not get money either way. Well, no, I'm not purposely not getting second in hindsight, but actually, if I don't get it, I'm not sure if I'm going to kick up too much of a fuss. Do they have O'Reilly? Like the O'Reilly that we sold? If that's O'Reilly that we sold, we're a better team than them. Because he was not good enough for our team, and if he's starting for them, I think we actually are better than them. I think I'm really underperforming. Let's be honest here, boys and girls. I think I'm underperforming here. But Tell is through, and Tell shoots and puts it just wide of the target. McKenna, it doesn't really... I don't know what McKenna was doing there. O'Reilly, it's not our O'Reilly. I still think we're actually better than them. Our team is stacked, boys and girls. I don't think they have this many wonderkids, and the time is just flying by. And I'm gonna be happy with making no substitutes if it means that we get a win. I think right now we're finishing the season in second, and yes, we should be aiming for that first place finish. But a second place, I will take, and another win against Celtic. I don't know why we always verse Celtic on the last day of the season. I have no idea why. I'm always gonna take a win against Celtic on the last day of the season, especially when it puts us above Rangers and on to 79 points to end the season. I mean, I'm not going to say I can't complain, because I can complain. That was still not an outrageous year. It wasn't insane. Suarez at least getting a goal there. He has been so average this year, though. I love him, and on paper he looks incredible. But 13 goals, 5 assists is just not it. It's not good enough. Especially when, like, he's done that 2 years in a row now, but one of them, he had 23 appearances. It's not good enough this year, man. I think that really has held us back. 6 player of the match performances shows that he's kind of hot and cold. Freeman wasn't even that outrageous. Freeland, wasn't even that outrageous this year. 10 goals, 10 assists. Grant as well, not that insane. 12 goals, 7 assists. Actually, that's very good from Grant. I love Grant. Grant can do no wrong. I'm sorry, Grant. I didn't mean that. Farrell is looking like an outrageous player. Getting, 5 goals, 3 assists, and just really good stats across the board. Goal is clearly an upgrade on Bowen. Guys, our team is good. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. We should be winning football games, and we just aren't at this current moment in time. Well, we should be winning the league. We are clearly winning football games. We should be winning the league. But I'm going to simulate to the end of the season and give you the season review this year, because I actually feel bad that I haven't been giving you the season review in the past, because you don't actually see that much going on in this stage. So season review at least gives you a bit of a synopsis on what happened. Transfer budget, we already got that when we qualified for the Champions League. So £8 million and £40,000. That is kind of what we already had in the bank account left over, which is annoying. But I do actually think it makes sense, and I'm not going to whinge about it, because we did literally make them take out a loan of £46 million. So yeah, like that's on me. That is on me. So yeah, probably good call for them to not just give me that money again. But annoying. But good call. Yeah, I did screw them over financially with a couple of transfers there. Oh my goodness, boys and girls, I'm apologetic. I forget how soon afterwards the season review comes. That was just pure laziness from me in the past for just not doing it. Wow. Okay, that is the incorrect choice. I mean, Fahad, the Saudi Arabian guy, he's all right. He's not even close to signing of the season. That's stupid. Anyway, is it given any rating? C for Makoku, A+ for Bindon, C+ for Carvalho, but none of the rest. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, goodish season towards second place. I mean, Champions League, the first stage knockout. I mean, it's not great. I mean, we did draw a very hard team in Juventus, but still would have liked to have gone through. We won the Super Cup. That was cool. Not quite as good as last year winning the Europa League, even though we were in the Champions League, because we won the Europa League. It's still like, it doesn't hit the same, does it? Grant, Turnbull, Sanchez, Farrell, and Makoku, top sales. Nice. And revenue, hugely gone up again. £38 million, that's what you want to see in terms of competition prize money. But of course, if you go further in the Champions League, you're going to get more prize money. And that is how we lined up this season. I would agree with it. Yeah, I'd agree with it. I don't think I'd change anything. Giardini on that right-hand side is tough, but I think he was probably the best of our right-sided players. Freeland wins the player of the season, the young player of the season. Just don't know how Fahad's won. That's dumb. Suarez winning goal of the season and top goal scorer. Most assists to Freeland. Most player of the match is Suarez. And highest average rating goes to McKinstry, even though he didn't play many games. And that makes me feel bad, because actually maybe he should have played games. It's McKinstry. And he's still considered to be a good Cinch Premiership player. That's the level we're at. It's the level we're at, boys and girls. And I did not mean to simulate one day in the future, but we're going to write it out, and we're going to see what the other emails was, because I assume someone will potentially be in the best 11 of the season, hopefully, unless it's all Celtic players. That would be stupid, wouldn't it? Saving the game as well, which is it's adding to this awkward conversation piece I'm doing with you, boys and girls. But 11 things, that's got to be interesting. Anyone in the squad? Anyone? Freeland, Grant, and Sildilla all inducted. No one actually put into the team, so they're on the bench. Freeland, I think, is going to be knocking on the door of Thomas. He's got to be. I think everyone else is. No, Sildilla's in there. Sildilla is in there. Sorry. Cabal's been taken out. I can get behind it. I actually can. I think that makes sense. That does make sense. But I reckon boys like Bruce, McKenna, Bannon, even Sensi. By the way, second episode just came out today. That is how much I pre-recorded. Yes, I have to start uploading more, but I don't, because I like only uploading a couple of times a year. But anyway, what's going on in this this round. Did awards come out, or is that not happening yet? Is that not happening? Relegation finals occurred. Are the awards out? 2030 player of the year? No, not out yet. A couple more simulators. See, this video just keeps going on and on. The bus is continuing. I don't know if I can turn that into an analogy. I was going to say, like, when you think the bus is going to end and it doesn't end, so you continue on. But I don't think that ever happens. You just kind of get off the bus when you want to get off the bus, don't you? World, yeah, we can still scout the world. That's nice. Players called up for the World Cup. Well, that is lovely. Grant, Farrell, McKenna, McQueen, Bautista, Fahad are signing of the season. Bindon and Carvajal. I mean, that's nice. I mean, I guess I'll keep an eye on it. Scotland actually did quite well in the Euros last time. I didn't mention that, but last year. No, sorry, the year before that. Obviously, it's good. Yeah, that's not how it works. Semi-final, and they lost to France, who I think were the eventual winners. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good from old Scottish side. We keep building up that Scottish team, and Grant and McKenna, probably not McKinstry, but definitely Grant and McKenna are starting players in that realm. The final had not been played yet, so that is why we didn't see any season awards. Can we now get season awards? Thank you very much. One more simulation, and then we'll check it again. Otherwise, you guys are going to stop. You're probably skipping already, if I'm being honest with you. I would be skipping too, but no, we have awards now. And Padgevot, what did he do? He got relegated. Nice. Lovely jubbly. Top goal scorer, Suarez is up there, but did not win it. 14 goals was the top. 14 goals was the top goal scorer this year. That is just such a gaping hole in our team that just could so easily win us the league. Freeland's still the young player of the season. That's 3 years in a row, I want to say. No, 2 years in a row, sorry. But Bruce won it a season, 2 seasons before he won it. Freeland, again, young player of the season. Nandich with the third best goal of the season. I'm second place in manager of the season. I can see why the Dundee United manager got the nod. But I think we're undervaluing the Celtic man. He keeps winning. Deserves a bit of credit. And Farrell in the best 11. I mean, hats off to you. 5 goals, 3 assists. He's getting some recognition. And, of course, a cheeky call up to the Scottish side. So, we'll be letting you know how the Scottish national side do in the World Cup next season. We will be making transfers. We will be potentially winning the league. And we will be clickbaiting a 5 at the back formation. So, thank you guys so much for watching this one. Subscribe if you're new around here. And I'll see you all later.